So Anastasia, thanks for coming. Okay, it's always a big pleasure to see you.
Very welcome.
So you will be the first INSEAD graduate students we are going to welcome here today at MD Center Brussels. Could you tell us more about yourself?
Yes, sure, with pleasure. My name is Anastasia, and I was born in St. Petersburg, Russia. I am 24 years old. I haven't spent a lot of time of my life in Russia because most of the time I grew up in Europe, in Holland and in Belgium. I studied in Belgium commercial engineering, and now I am working at LVMH. I worked at LVMH in Russia and in Belgium in marketing and communications. And this summer I will start an MBA at INSEAD.
So Anastasia, I remember that when you came to meet us the first time, you wanted to do the MBA at ESSEC in luxury brand management, okay? And then you became more ambitious, okay, and finally opted for INSEAD. Finally, why have you finally chosen INSEAD? Because now I guess that you're very like an INSEAD fan today. So why INSEAD?
I did apply only to INSEAD. From the beginning, I was considering an MBA in luxury brand management at ESSEC. I never considered masters because I could have done masters at the time, and you don't need work experience for that. I always wanted an MBA, highest level of education, and I considered luxury brand management, but I quickly realized that an MBA like that is for people who are not in this industry and want to go into this industry. And I actually am in the industry and would like to know more about a lot of other things. And what better school to go to than INSEAD? I wanted to stay in Europe. Didn't want to go too far. So basically it was London Business School or INSEAD, and London Business School, in my opinion, is a little bit more finance and consulting, and INSEAD is very multicultural. Very open to global international management. And just a small remark, it is the school number 1 where LVMH recruits their top managers.
So Anastasia, I believe that the idea of getting an MBA was an idea that you nourished when you were 18, 19 years old. Okay. But what was the process since you really decided that you wanted to do an MBA?
So the first thing that I knew I had to do if I wanted to do an MBA is take the GMAT test. As I wanted to prepare in the best possible way, I contacted the MBA Center to help me prepare, and I took courses all over the summer for 2 months, twice a week, to prepare, to get to know what actually the GMAT is, because I had no idea what that was. And then afterwards, I took another 2 months to study it at home. Finally, I took the test with a good score, and I started preparing the essays. So essays is also quite a difficult part of the application. You have to write a lot. You have to be original. You have to know what plus minus they expect. So that took a while too, and you really helped me with that. That was a really good thing because you really can get lost in all the questions. And then there are the recommendation letters that obviously everybody has to receive. And it's very wrong to think that if you give your boss or colleague some questions, they will answer them properly. You have to prepare it all for them. They're all too lazy. And if you want to have something nice about yourself, do it yourself. So I had to prepare that, and then it's the application itself. You have to apply the whole file, meet the deadline, and wait for the answer. I personally really took the time to do it because I know I'm a very busy person. I do 100 things at the same time. So for me, preparation to actually application took 1 year. And then from the application until start of the studies, it's another year.
Yes, I know that you took quite a lot of time because I was quite impressed by Anastasia because Anastasia, so we start an MBA in September in Fontainebleau.
Yes.
Yeah, and you get married in July?
Yes.
So for you guys at INSEAD, It's dead with Anastasia. And yes, you studied 2 years before, and it's true that she was very well organized because yes, you planned 2 years before starting, and that's exactly the right process. Know that we have also written, we have also worked a lot on your scholarship essays.
So I also wanted to get a scholarship, although I heard about it that it's very, very hard. I applied for 2 scholarships at INSEAD and for an external scholarship. Unfortunately, I was shortlisted for all 3 of them, but I didn't get selected. Scholarship essays is basically as hard as the essays for the application. And again, you have to be original and come up with some kind of content and story and surprise those people. So you shouldn't underestimate it. And yes, it's true, we worked on that a little bit too, and I think we did quite a good job.
Yes, unfortunately you did not get the scholarship, because I think that there is not much money left for this, especially in Europe. By the way, to our auditors, I want to say that all our students who apply to a US school get a scholarship, okay? In Europe it's extremely rare, and I've never seen in my history, you know that I've sent about more than 200 students at INSEAD, and never have I had a scholarship for them. So,
okay. So I don't feel bad that it's me.
You could have been the first one, Anastasia. So, Anastasia, you told us that it took you over 2 years to get prepared for the MBA. So it means that you have prepared very seriously. How useful was MBA Center in all this process?
The MBA Center was very useful to me. As you said, I started preparing my application a lot of time in advance, but nevertheless, it's still a very difficult process. And if you don't have a guide and somebody to explain to you what exactly you have to do, well, which one are the important steps and which one you can skip, it is very, very difficult. I started with taking GMAT courses at the MBA Center. Then I prepared some myself and I took practice tests. Then further on we went on to preparing the essays, which is also a very tricky part of the application. You need to know what to write and which way to write it. And then of course you have the recommendation letters. Please don't think that recommendation letters, it's something that your boss writes. No, you have to still prepare it. And the scholarship essays, if you want to have a scholarship, also you need to put a lot of time into it.
So, by the way, we are people who are like you, Anastasia. We're not surrounded by MBA experts, but even I've seen that it works pretty well also with our consultant from Booz Allen, from McKinsey. We need extra help, and also we are quite useful on the GMAT. So Anastasia, I want to thank you for coming. Okay, you are our first girl because you'll be the student of the month of May, and it was a pleasure to see you again and remember this time that we had together.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure coming.